У мене ж колеги.
Включений мікрофон, це не можна. Вмикаєте це і вмикається.
Ну так, так.
Раз, раз, раз.
Шановні колеги, вітаю. Розпочинаємо брифінг президента України за підсумками його участі у третій Кримській платформі в ширшому контексті з нагоди Дня Незалежності. Десь 30 хвилин у нас з вами буде. Прохання, якщо не складно, під час запитань підводитися, щоб люди з мікрофонами бачили запитання. І перше от одразу для кримського телеканалу АТР, тут попереду, будь ласка.
Салям алейкум, президент. Вітаю пана президента. Перший кримстарський телеканал АТР Гульсум Халілова. Ви знаєте, що протягом 9 років Росія знищує, і вона знищила, мабуть, всі кримсько-татарські школи в Криму. Вона знищує нашу мову, вона знищує нашу культуру, нашу ідентичність, нашу історію. І вона намагається знищити весь кримсько-татарський народ, корінний народ України. Зараз нас дивиться Крим, і у мене до вас таке запитання. Як ви бачите майбутнє кримсько-татарського народу після деокупації, після звільнення від окупантів? Дякую.
Дуже дякую вам за запитання, якщо можна мені. Дякую вам за запитання. Бажаю всім здоров'я, доброго дня, вітаю з державним святом прапора. Прапор буде на нашому українському півострові Крим після деокупації. Як ми бачимо, можна реальні речі, є конкретні кроки, ми їх розробляємо. Щодо деокупації, щодо безпекової ситуації, окремо працює наше Міністерство внутрішніх справ разом з нашими людьми на базі офісу Кримської платформи. Що стосується впевнений, після того, як буде деокупація, буде працювати тимчасова військова адміністрація на території Криму, допоки безпекова ситуація. Можна дайте разом, будь ласка, разом з блокнотом, дайте, будь ласка. Що стосується економіки, зараз ви є свідком третього саміту Кримська платформа. У нас сьогодні буде підписаний меморандум з десятком, може, навіть більше серйозно провідних компаній, які хочуть одразу після деокупації прийти
willing and ready to
економічно
come into the
Крим.
Crimea
Як я
after the
сказав
occupation
сьогодні,
to economically
я
develop
промовив
it. As I mentioned it in my inaugural speech at the Crimean platform, it is really important for us to integrate the peninsula and its society into Ukraine. They have been living without Ukraine for 9 years on the territory of this peninsula, so the task is no small challenge, but still Ukraine will come and the economy will kickstart. I'm very much sure, that we are actually getting closer to our rightful membership in the EU, and the Crimea is the part of Ukraine. This is a bit of another story. It's very important for us to integrate the Crimea to its maximum with jobs, with no further threats, so that the Crimea is able to work and develop on a daily basis, not just during the Crimean season. Because of that, we are talking about that with the companies that I mentioned, to have more jobs opened. If the question is about that, please.
Майбутнє кримсько-татарського народу
The future of the Crimean Tatar people,
в Україні,
it will be in Ukraine. They are
є
our
корінним народом
citizens.
України, відповідний
They are the indigenous
закон було
people
прийнято.
of Ukraine.
Якщо ви хотіли щось
And a
інше
relevant
почути,
piece of legislation was adopted.
я не знаю.
If you wanted to hear
Вільні
something
люди
else, well,
повернуться
I don't
обов'язково
know.
полонені.
The free people, they will be. The
Більше цього я не впевнений, що можу
prisoners will
обіцяти
return.
сьогодні.
I can
Головне
hardly
повернення
promise anything
Криму
more than that today.
додому, в Україну.
The key thing is to see the Crimea return to its home.
Далі, будь
to
ласка,
Ukraine.
запитання там же, ABC.
Thank you. Another question over there, ABC.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Tom
Дуже
Sivivaric,
дякую,
ABC News. Дуже
Пане
дякую.
президент, ABC
The US
News.
Congress is about to start debating a bill
Конгрес ЮС
to
збирається
supply more
обговорювати
military aid to
законопроект про
Ukraine. At the
збільшення
same time,
військової
US
підтримки
officials are
Україні.
quoted saying
Водночас
that they don't believe
посадовці
that the Ukrainian
американські деякі
counteroffensive
кажуть,
will
що вони не вірять, що
achieve key
контрнаступ
objectives
в
by the
Україні
time the
досягне
rains fall in a
основних
matter of
цілей
weeks.
у
How
найближчий
confident are
час.
you in your strategy right now? What are
Наскільки
you
ви
doing to
впевнені зараз
reassure
у
your
вашій
allies?
стратегії?
And is
Наскільки
there a
ви
plan
готові
B?
переконати ваших союзників і чи є у вас план Б?
Дякую за запитання.
Thank you for
І не
your
треба
question.
поки що переконувати.
I don't think I need
Слава
to
нашим
convince
Збройним силам
and
переконувати наших
reconvince
союзників. Поки що
our
і
allies
бачу
thanks to
підтримку
our
наших
armed
партнерів,
forces.
основних партнерів.
I see the
Ми в
support
постійному
from
діалозі
our
з
key
президентом Байденом,
partners. We are
з
in
іншими
constant dialogue
партнерами
with President
Європейського
Biden,
Союзу і
other
нашими
partners in the
друзями з
EU,
різних континентів.
our
Це
friends
перше.
from multiple
В
continents.
постійному
This is
контакті, коли я
first
говорю, це
point.
знов-таки не абстрактні
No,
речі. Зараз
this is not an abstract thing when I mentioned that we are in constant contact.
Саме зараз Джеком
The
Саліваном у нас
head of
різні
my office is
піднімаються
talking
питання
to Jack
щодо
Sullivan
формули
right
миру, щодо
now. We have
постачання
right
зброї,
of issues
щодо
raised
посилення
regarding the
нашого
peace
Що
formula,
стосується
regarding military
деяких
support,
небезпечних голосів у Сполучених Штатах Америки,
speaking
деяких
about some dangerous voices in the United
небезпечних голосів
States,
у Конгресу, я
some
впевнений, що нам
dangerous
буде
voices in the
непросто,
Congress.
вони
I'm very
звучать.
much confident it
Я
won't
радий,
be an
що у
easy
нас
walk. They will be
Двопартійна
there.
підтримка
But I'm glad
в
that we have
Конгресі. Я радий,
bipartisan
що у
support
нас,
in
в
the
принципі,
Congress.
двопартійна підтримка
We have these
Сполучених
bipartisan
Штатів
support in
і,
principle
дійсно,
in the
загальна
United
потужна
States.
підтримка
A
суспільства. Я
powerful
дуже вірю в
also
суспільство
support
Сполучених Штатів.
from the
І
public in
підтримка
the US,
Білого
from the
Дому,
society. We have
України.
the
А вже
support
ж у
of
вас
the White House.
дуже буде складний рік
Yes, there
електоральних
will be a challenging year for you, the year of
змагань, рік виборів.
electoral
Це безумовно буде мати
competition,
вплив.
and definitely it will have
Безумовно
certain effect on the support of
може
Ukraine.
вплинути
Surely
як
it can
позитивно,
affect
так і
in
негативно.
both positive
Ми зі
or
свого
negative
боку
way.
будемо робити
But we,
все,
on our
щоб
part, will be doing
підтримка
everything
Сполучених
to
Штатів
see
не
the
спадала.
support
Зі
of
свого
the
боку,
United
ми
States
віддаємо
is
весь
unwavering.
свій час,
We are
свою
spending
енергію,
all of
щоб
our
усім
time
працювати
and
з Сполученими
energy
Штатами, як я вам сказав, контакт з Саліваном.
to talk with the United States. I mentioned the contact with Sullivan. I have a contact with Mr. Biden. I am going to meet representatives of the US Congress today.
Достатньо публічні.
We have
І
rather
тому
public meetings
саме так,
actually,
я дуже на
and
це
this is like
розраховуючи
so.
наші
I do count
партнери
on
в
that.
Сполучених Штатах
I
і
do count
залишаться
on
нашими
our US
партнерами і
partners
друзями.
remain
Ризики
our
з
partners and
приводу того,
friends
що є деякі
regarding
голоси
risks
в республіканській партії,
because
але
of
багато
certain
голосів в
voices in the
республіканській
Republican
партії
Party.
є, які
Well, there are
з
many
нами
voices in the Republican Party
і
who are
нас
with us,
підтримують. Що
who
стосується
support us.
контрнаступу,
As regards the
подивимось на результат.
counteroffensive, let us
Я
see
вірю в
the
наш
results.
народ,
I do believe
наші
in our people,
абсолютно всі сили безпеки і оборони України,
in our
сил оборони
defense
і
and armed forces
Збройні сили.
of Ukraine.
безумовно всім хочеться у світі швидше,
Surely everyone worldwide wants this to come sooner, but we do our best,
як можна
and
більше і
we
швидше
will
деокупувати наших
do our
сел,
best
міст,
to
наших
deoccupy
територій.
our cities and
Складна задача.
villages as soon as possible. It's quite a challenging task, actually.
ЛБЮА, будь ласка.
Щось у вас свистить постійно.
Займаюся, пане президент.
Олександр Демченко, ОБЮА. Пане президенте,
Alexander Demchenko, LBUA. Mr. President, now we hear different voices which you are speaking about, in particular, unfortunately, in the West, that the post-war issue of Crimea is not that definite, that there is some political future or diplomatic future that we need to search for solutions. The President of Portugal today has made a very nice statement about that, and I would like you to speak about that as well. What would Ukraine tell those voices, and why do you think they are so active now?
Я не зовсім зрозумів, що ви хочете.
Honestly speaking, I don't understand what you want to hear with me. You want me to be as well? I'm not as well. I'm the president of Ukraine, so I have a definite position that Crimea is Ukraine. We are fighting for Crimea and all the rest temporarily occupied Ukrainian territories. We are not exchanging our territories for any membership in any union.
Від португальського телеканалу.
The Portuguese TV channel, please, the first row.
Португальському президенту з
Today you helped the Portuguese president with the headsets, and you said that everything is working in Ukraine. Does the Portuguese help work in Ukraine? Portugal supports us at the General Assembly of the United Nations, and it's a lot already, especially when you try to collect the votes about some of the complicated questions. So accountability and implementation of tribunal in these issues, every vote, every part is very important, and every brick in this building is important in this victory. Yes, the victory at the battlefield is important. The people are dying there, but we are working in different spheres. People who are renovating the country, that's important. The preparation to the winter, the energy is important as well. You remember how we had to fight blackouts. So definitely our partners are very important. Honestly speaking, it would be very complicated without them. As of today, really complicated, because we have this lack of weapons, lack of shells and rounds. We feel this lack of artillery, let alone all the details, what, where. We will try to prepare the information. We will not give the information to the Russian Federation, but the voice of Portugal is important, politically important. We are happy that the president of Portugal came to us with his first visit. Those countries are more and more numerous. All of those voices are important for the implementation of the peace formula, and we are preparing the summit, and it is very hard. So it's important for us to get the majority of the world on our side. We are moving to this as I think success, and I'm also grateful Portugal for the humanitarian support. We are working with them as well in the sphere of demining. Information agency Bloomberg, please. The question is in the context of what you said in cooperation with the United States. Do you see now the readiness of the United States to make one more positive step towards Ukraine and to give us the long-range missiles? And the second question, if you allow me, what would you tell as a response to those who offers Ukraine to focus its efforts in the offensive on the southern parts of Ukraine and not to focus along the front line? As for the first part about the long-range missiles, if you speak about long-range weapons, we are working on that, on these tasks. This is the tasks of our diplomats, of my head of office, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I'm working in different directions on that. We are lobbying that through different doors, let me say so, and we definitely will achieve the outcome, as well as we got really substantial missiles, and when we are using them now, it's not a secret anymore. It was hard, but we have Storm Shadows already, as well as with Rishi Sunak. I had a deal with Emmanuel Macron about scalps, and they're working as well. The military are really satisfied with them. Almost 100% precision against the adversary. As for other long-range weapons, it's not easy, as I already said. I'm sure there will be the outcome, as well as with the fighter jets. We have already the result. Honestly speaking, we have a powerful outcome. I will not repeat myself. If you ask about that, I will tell about the details. If not, let's move on. As for the focus in different parts of Ukraine, about our southern direction, you know that everything is densely mined there. It is really hard, and people have to go on foot not to lose the deficit of armored vehicles. If we had some reserve, of course, we could take risks, but I don't want us to take risks, especially by people and equipment. But this is the choice of the commanders at the places. First of all, people, then the equipment and vehicles. They know my preferences. I'm going to the front line on a permanent basis, and I see and know all the deficit. When you know that, for instance, there will be 100 of armored vehicles to the brigade, and 20 of them need to be repaired. So you are permanently in such a kind of a situation when you don't have the full set, I would say. But no one complains, everybody is fighting, we are moving on, and where are any mistakes, we need to correct them. They are corrected. Where it's harder, it will be hard. We are fighting with Russia, but everybody began to forget, let us be sincere. When we were told that we will be occupied in 3 days, when all the people were afraid and some of the people were in chaos, it was different, but we were all fighting. We understood that we are fighting with the second powerful or any other indicator army in the world. But I cared about standing till the end, to overcome. And I think that we overcame. But honestly speaking, we are a bit relaxed, as if we have won. We still have not won. The first step, that we prevailed because we did not let them destroy our state. And the fact is that they are not capable to destroy us. And this fact is so important. This is an important victory of our military and our people who stayed here and, was just working hard for this victory. Is this the final victory? No. We need to deoccupy all of our territories, then to bring back all of our people and to finalize this process. So maybe we need to be very cautious with such a neighbor. That is why we would like to get to NATO. But to exchange NATO for our lands, well, it's not honest. It cannot be even a dialogue. It's not a conversation. Whether it's artificial or not artificial as a provocation, and that is why I guess that's it about that. But as for the use of force at different front lines and spreading the forces, we have the East. Does any of the experts understand how many occupiers are located in the East? At least approximately. Do you know that? Approximately. 200,000, let's say. 200,000. So the suggestion is like this. Let us take our forces from that direction, the armed forces, and send them somewhere. I don't want to say where to. Maybe where it is desirable or needed for us. Maybe, yes, after that, the following will take place. A couple of days they will take Slavyansk, Kramatorsk, then they will go to Pavlograd, Dnipro, and they will cut the shores. I think this is their hope and expectation. And Kharkiv, yes. We will not give away Kharkiv, or Donbass, or Pavlograd, or Dnipro. And this is how it should be done. And let all the analysts in the world don't even count on that.
Про F-16 зайшла мова, чи є уточнення?
There was a question on F-16. Any request for clarification? Al Jazeera, please.
Чи достатньо
So,
півроку часу,
will
щоб
there be
українські пілоти
F-16
могли
and
професійно управляти, і
will it be enough
чи
to have
нададуть нам
6
необхідну
months training for Ukrainian
техніку,
pilots
ракети,
to
бомби наші
master
західні
them?
партнери для того, щоб на цьому етапі війни
Another question is
вони
whether the
виконували
Western
свої
partners
завдання.
will provide necessary armaments for these planes.
Ракети,
to
бомби для
perform
чого?
their tasks.
Для винищувачів, для
The
літаків.
rockets,
У нас
bombs
всі
for
види ракет вже
the
є
planes.
навіть на наших
We
літаках.
already
Ми
have
знайшли
them even on
можливість,
our
тому ми
planes.
і
We found
використовуємо
that
Storm Shadow,
opportunity.
Scalp
Because
і
of that,
інші
we are
види
using Storm Shadow,
ракет. Тому я
Scalp,
маю на
other
увазі,
types
що
of
тут питання
missiles.
зараз не в ракетах
So
або
the
не
question is
тільки.
not
Так?
in missiles or
Питання
only about
в
missiles.
відповідно
The
в
question is respectively
винищувачах.
in fighter
нашої
planes,
присутності потужної в небі. Домовленості
about us
були
being
наступні.
powerfully
Ми
present
почали
in
говорити
skies.
Швецією.
We started talking
Ми
with
почали говорити,
Sweden.
приїхала наша технічна група, вони будуть
We
5
had our
тижнів
technical
перевіряти,
team come
що
out
стосується
to
гріпенів, як
verify
вони
for 5
працюють.
weeks
Далі,
how
після того,
Gripens
якщо
work, how
нам
they
буде це
operate.
технічно повністю підходити,
If
так,
it is
і якщо
technically
уряд
acceptable for
Швеції
us, and
буде
if
готовий
the
це
Swedish government
обговорювати,
is
після
ready
цього
to
ми домовимось
discuss
про
that afterwards,
тренувальну
we
місію.
will agree
Саме
on a
так ми
training
працювали і
mission.
по F-16,
This is
скажу
how
вам
we
відверто.
worked
Ось такий шлях він.
with F-16. So quite a challenging, not easy path, but nevertheless, I'm glad that we had this opportunity of talking to the Prime Minister. After that, we gathered representatives of all the partners at his office, all the political elite, and we unified them. I talked quite a lot with them. We had all the details presented to them, and to tell you frankly, we had the commander of Air Force were sent with his team to Sweden. We just did not announce it. And they started those technical checkups. He's now back in Ukraine, by the way. So if we have consensus after that, we will start talking about Gripens. So we checked on that. As regards F-16, the probable main fighter plane for Ukraine, we have the agreement in principle on that, and I'm thankful to the Prime Minister. We are going to have 19 of them. They will come in several batches.
Чому? Тому що
Unfortunately,
це
it
залежить
won't be
на
fast,
сьогодні, я вважаю, не тільки від Данії,
because as
залежить
of today,
від
it
нас.
depends not just
Ми повинні
on
дати
Denmark,
відповідних
we
наших
also, it
пілотів,
also depends on us. We
фахівців,
need to provide our own
інженерів.
pilots, professionals, technicians.
Скажу вам так, кілька пілотів
Let us put it like that.
обслуговують десятки технічного персоналу.
Several pilots
І
have been
тому це
served
дуже
by
важливо
dozens and dozens of
всіх
technical staff
хлопців
members.
відправити,
It's a
відібрати. Я
question of
вже не говорю
sending
про
all these guys over
перекладачів,
there,
про навчання тощо.
sending them there, not speaking
Окремо,
of
паралельно цьому
interpreters
ми
and
будемо
other
будувати
supporting staff.
інфраструктуру.
Parallel to that, we will
Інфраструктуру
have to
для
build
сучасних
the relevant
винищувачів.
infrastructure
Треба
for
зрозуміти,
modern
що наша
fighter planes.
інфраструктура
We need to
не
understand that
сучасна,
our current
не для
infrastructure is not
F-16.
modern,
Ми
is not
побудуємо
fit or
це
suitable
як можна
for
швидко.
F-16.
Це
We'll have
наше
to build it
завдання.
as
Це
soon as
сьогодні
possible.
завдання
This is
повітряних
our
сил.
assignment for today, the task for the
Вони
Air
будуть цим
Force.
займатися.
Because
І
they will be
відправити
dealing with
пілотів – це
that.
також завдання
The
наших
question of
військових.
sending our
Треба це
pilots for
зробити.
training there, it also has to be done.
Це що стосується Данії.
This is concerning
Ситуація
Denmark.
з
The situation with
Нідерландами,
the
з Марком Рютте,
Netherlands,
ми домовились, що ми можемо
we agreed
розраховувати
with Mark Rutte
на 42
that
літаки.
we can
А більше у нього
count
немає.
on
З
42
них
planes.
на
They don't have more.
18 ми будемо проходити
Of them,
навчання.
18 will be
Коли
used
ми навчимось,
for our
ми зможемо
training, and when
отримати
we
і ці
are
18.
trained, we'll be
Решту
able to
ми
get the
зможемо
18 of
отримати
them,
одразу, як тільки наші пілоти
and then the rest we
То в
will be
цілому
able
це
to
дуже
get them as soon as
серйозна-
possible, as soon as our
серйозна,
pilots are trained and ready. So
кількість
this is
літаків.
quite a serious number of planes.
Дуже. Скажу вам
rather
відверто, коли ми
serious
готували
number.
всі ці зустрічі, розмовляли
You know,
з
when we were
партнерами,
preparing those meetings, we
розраховували
were in
хоча б
talks
на
with our
12.
partners. We had some
Всі, я
calculations,
всім
maybe
п'ять не
12.
буду зараз говорити і
I'm not
окремо
going to delve
когось,
into details or
про когось говорити. Всі
talk specifically
попрацювали.
about someone, but
У нас
everyone
великий
worked.
потенціал. З Грецією
We had a
домовились.
huge
Також
potential.
дають нам
We
майданчик
had
для тренувань.
accords with
Потрібні
Greece. They
майданчики
provided
і
us with
потрібні
platform for
літаки.
training.
Але дуже
Because we
важливо,
need those
що
places
ми
for training
відправили
and planes.
пілотів.
And it's
Дуже
really
важливо.
important
У
for us
нас
to
це
send pilots.
непроста задача, тому
This
що
is
у нас не
A
просто держава,
challenging task
держава
for
в
us
війні.
because we
Якщо
are
ти
not
когось
just
відправляєш,
a country,
то
we are a
значить
country at
хтось
war,
зараз
which
не
means that
воює.
if you send someone
небі за
away on
Україну.
training, this
Ось в
person
цьому
is no
знайти
longer
баланс.
fighting in the skies of Ukraine. We need to
Воює,
find
відправляємо
balance
навчати.
with that.
Окей.
Далі, будь ласка.
Next, please.
Суспільне.
Суспільне.
Роксолана Лісовська, Mr. President,
I don't know that this Crimea Platform Summit has to present a new strategy of Crimean platform. which will involve not just diplomatic ways of returning the Crimea. Could you elaborate more on the strategy itself? What is it about, and how the partners and all the present at this Crimean platform session reacted to it? Another question regarding the security situation in the Black Sea and Azov Seas. How this security is to be secured? Thank you for your question regarding the strategy. It is yet to be presented. It was partially mentioned by some of our and other colleagues, but it will involve diplomatic, humanitarian, environmental and economic matters, together with matters of the occupation, reintegration of people, returning people and reintegrating the society into Ukraine. This is about bringing the Crimea back into Ukraine. Demilitarization as well. You know, to counter the Crimea right after the occupied, from what I heard, will become a tourist heaven. I don't think this steps to the truth. In order to prevent any further attempt of occupation of the Crimea, there will be a navy there, but it will be Ukrainian defense there. As regards the occupation of the Crimea, I'm not sure that it would be correct today to speak about the military occupation of the Crimea publicly. Thank you. Regarding the security in the Black and Azov Sea, when we are dominating force there, it will be a possibility to talk about security there. You know, just to let you know, the diplomats have been tasked with preparing a security union, not just in the face of NATO, but rather a union of the Black Sea member states to have a joint protection and defense against Russian aggression along the coastline of the Black Sea, the Azov Sea. I would even add the Baltic Sea. BBC, please.
Оксана Турок, BBC. Пане президенте, чи
Оксана Турок, Mr. President, will there be any changes in the process of mobilization? Will it be promoted and strengthened, given the war is ongoing, there are ongoing losses? So is that to say that everyone will have to serve? I will be frank with you. I was addressed by the military to provide them with the possibility to mobilize more. That's it. No more comments at the moment. Rada TV channel at the very end of the room. I think it's really important in this matter to have an understanding of who is doing that and how. Because of that, the conscription center matter, the matter of health check commissions is also important. How to speed up the process, how to put it in good order, and only after that a discussion may start as to how to increase mobilization and with whom.
Пане президенте, Вадим Колодійчук,
Mr. President, Vadim Kolodійчук, TV channel Rada. We are talking a lot about Putin's responsibility for the aggression crime. He has a court order. But little has been said about the Crimea annexation, and little has been said about responsibility of those like Putin and others who have been complicit in its annexation. Maybe you are right. Frankly speaking, I probably have lost a bit of the topic in the information environment regarding this, but the Crimean platform helps refreshing it, and the matter will be raised also during the UNGA session in New York. You know, if Ukraine isn't to raise this matter, the rest will try to quietly forget about it. And meanwhile, this is our concern. This is our task to unite the world around our problems. Rather than lamenting about some of our partners, we need to work to the max about that.
Я ж не Гаазький трибунал.
Well, I'm not the tribunal of the Hague. It's hard for me to say what Putin is liable for. And not only him. Our task is that all those people who took our territories, who took the lives of our people, to bring back the Crimea. Yes, you can do that, but you cannot bring back the people who are deceased. So the question of justice, we need to say that all of those people, the murderers, the terrorists, those who gave those commands, all of them have to be responsible.
CDF, будь ласка.
CDF, please. CDF.
Мікрофон почекайте.
Tomorrow we have the Independence Day, which Ukraine is celebrating for the second time under the conditions of war. In the Crimea, they cannot celebrate it as it should for the 10th year. And at the West, many people are hoping that the counteroffensive could be more speedy, quicker. So the question is the following: how long can Ukraine stand? This is the third year of independence. Will there be the third year of independence celebration under the conditions of war? You have a very complicated question. My attitude towards that is the following: we don't have any other chance to act in a different way. We only can stand for our state. We can't have anything else but deoccupy our territories with by force, by armed forces, by diplomacy. I am definitely for diplomacy. I would really love us to lose fewer people, but we understand who we are dealing with. And that is why we don't have any other way out. We are fighting for our own, and we don't have that much. That is only one country. So I cannot tell you whether we'll have the third Independence Day under the conditions of war. And in Kremlin, in the Crimea, as you said, the people cannot celebrate the Independence Day for so long. But we have the same, honestly speaking, we have the same. In Crimea now, there is no war. Crimea is occupied, and that's an awful tragedy. We see the demise of people. People are dying. Is it a celebration? It's an important day. I can't even use this term, a state festivity. Yes, this is the most important day, the Independence Day, and those who so far, unfortunately, are under occupation need to know that and to remember that. Whoever is going along the streets in Crimea and in which uniform, if this day is important for you, if this is the celebration day for you, the day of your independence, if you believe that Ukraine will come back, you should fight as well. We're always saying that everybody is the same in Russia. If they wanted to fight Putin, they need to get to the streets. Let us not forget about Crimea as well. We have our people in the Crimea, and we shouldn't be silent. Those who are not silent are getting to jail. They are becoming political prisoners. This is an important day for everyone, for both those who are at the front line, who are under occupation in the civilian life, anywhere. If you are a Ukrainian, it's your day. Dear colleagues, the last question. Please, your question. Hello, Mr. President. Yaroslav Zharin of Telegraph. I would like to, in fact, greet you with such an important issue as aircrafts, as fighter jets. That is really important. And I would like to ask you such a final question today. Tomorrow it's a year and a half of the full-scale war. What's your main personal victory during this year and a half? And maybe what's your main mistake, which you are ready to acknowledge during this year and a half? No, I cannot. Because there is no victory so far. There were lots of mistakes. That's it. Thank you. Thank you so much, dear colleagues. Thank you, Mr. President. Glory to Ukraine, glory to the heroes. This is the end of the press conference.